And welcome back to part 52 of Final Fantasy 15. My throat is still a little off from the illness, but I'm trying my best. Today we're going to be getting the last different kind of regalia, the regalia D type, and then showing off the assault courses with it. But to get it, there's a few side quests with short on that we need to do surrounding the regalia before it will let us do it. The regalia needs to be upgraded a certain amount before it will let you do them, so we're going to have to do that first. But first I cut back to getting back to Cindy to repair the vehicle after the troubled landing we had getting there a few parts back.
Y'all just leave her to me.
It cost us 500 gil to repair the damn thing, but it's worth it. Get a nice little fix up. A nice arse shot on the camera thanks to that game.
There. I'd say my work here is done.
Yep, thanks Cindy. Maintenance work complete. Right, now we got some work for Cindy to do. This is a side quest we started up much earlier in the game, but I just did not do. but don't worry too much. I mentioned, if you watched the update video, you already know about it. But my throat's been very on and off. Like, I had a real rough illness last week, which is what stopped me from uploading anything. And since then, my throat's just been very on and off. Like, some days I wake up and it's fine, other days I wake up like today and it's just a bit gravelly. Hopefully it doesn't come through the mic too bad, but if it does, I can only apologise. It's the second time in this Let's Play I've been relatively unwell recording. But the difference is, unlike last time, this time I am perfectly fine. I don't feel unwell, it's just my throat's a bit cagey.
Guess we'll find out when Cindy sprays it on the car.
Feels like we become Cindy's personal errand boy.
Also, I keep in the dialogue that the crew have after you get every step of Cindy's side quest moving on for a bit. You only need to get as far as the side quest that asks you to go back into Crestholm channels. You know, that optional dungeon we did in like part 48 or 49.
No surprise there. Y'all can hang on to that. That's your reward.
Cheers,
Spray
Cindy.
your car with a coat of that stuff, and it'll keep her looking
Alright, yeah, so
fan.
this fancy paint will make it so the car will never get dirty again.
Feels better than driving
Which is
around
only
in
really
a
helpful
car.
after we get the D type where you can drive it predominantly off-road. Minus a few spots where if you just dive straight into that spot, the game doesn't like it, so it'll respawn you out of it.
There, Prince.
Hi there again, Cindy.
You guessed it. Must be written all over my face. You see, one of our regulars tipped me off to something real special.
Alright.
Thing called a supercharger, and a pretty powerful
Superchargers,
one.
like there are several different superchargers in the game. The best one you can get from the arenas in Altissia. If you grind up the arena, the best reward you get is the strongest supercharger in the game. But for now, we've got to go up to the Vesper pool because there's a wrecked car up near some cockatrices that we need to go get. As we go to drive out,
Dude, could you not?
Not what?
The supercharger comes with Cindy's seal of approval, and that is worth the search.
And if we find
we get the crew talking about it as usual.
You hear this? As if he actually has a chance.
Oh, this side quest is the biggest push towards the whole Prompto X Cindy thing. Which I've got a slight sneaking suspicion they did actually hook up. Like, there's a huge part of me that doubts it because she's definitely married to her work. But a few of the odd lines added to the Royal Edition seem to suggest, so who knows. My headcanon is that they hooked up. Like, let's be honest, we're never gonna find out. Like, for real. We're always gonna get the hint. They're not gonna do a Final Fantasy 15.2 because they promised after the 13 trilogy they'd never do them again because people were kind of sick to death of 13 anyway. I say that knowing full well that I actually really enjoyed 13.2. I thought 13.2 was one of the best Final Fantasy games made in a very long time. But I get the idea of some people were kind of bored out of the set sequels to previous Final Fantasy game stories. Especially because Final Fantasy X-2, from what I heard, wasn't brilliant either. Final Fantasy 4 the after years I actually really enjoyed though, so Final Fantasy 4.2 is alright. And Final Fantasy 7, I guess you can count Dirge of Cerberus as a sequel game, because Crisis Core is a prequel game. And actually a pretty fun prequel game that did the story justice, did Zack's character a lot of justice, compared to the original Final Fantasy 7 that kind of just threw him away. Despite how important he was, he really didn't get much time for anything.
Isn't Cindy the best? I mean,
Oh, and Prompto's going on the Cindy compliment assault again.
Very gracious of her.
Yeah.
She must really like us.
No, she likes the car.
And more the regalia.
See?
Like I said, let him dream.
But now we can return back, get this put on the car. Sup, Cindy?
How'd it go? Did you
And I believe the next one is the one where she asks you to go into Creston channels, which means we're as far as we need to go, and we can get Regalia D-type.
Can't wait to soup her up and get her running. I bet y'all are really gonna feel a difference. Just give me a holler when you're ready to go.
Alright. Yeah, you can see it in the background on the left. There's a box with a blueprint on it now. I think I talked to Cindy first to check the side quest, but I do notice it. Oh no, I do go check it. And we end up skipping that line from Prompto. Oops.
Looks interesting.
Don't it though? Actually, it's a good thing you're here, because I was meaning to talk to you. I know the regalia is built for the open road, but what if I told you I could help you get the old girl off the beaten path?
I tell you, it sounds too good to be true.
And I tell you, you're wrong. You see, I was digging around the garage when I found those schematics in a box full of Pawpaw's old knickknacks. Looks to me like he was fixing to take a car that looked just like the regalia off-road.
But do you really think it'll work?
I sure do. All it'll take is a little ingenuity and a lot of elbow grease. And the right parts, of course. Fortunately, I'm flat out of deluxe tires. If it ain't too much to ask, would you mind fetching them for me?
So yeah, we need to go out and get some deluxe tires so she can make the Regalia D-type. The deluxe tires are located in a much earlier location. You might be able to see where they are on the map. At the end of chapter 2, way back when we had to cross the border, when we first fought Loki, and we had to do that little sneak around with Core, that's the area we're going to. We have to sneak in through the whole gap in the wall again and explore around to find the 4 deluxe wheels, because for some reason they're there.
By following instructions.
Which was brought up by Sid, I might add. Though I'm curious what she meant by a car like the Regalia.
Something that might not get, will probably not get shown in this Let's Play, which is a bit of a shame because I do like that it's there. It's just kind of useless. It's that there is a prototype spare version of the Regalia that Noxus's father used to drive around a lot. That is kept safe in the city, in Crown City, and when you're playing the raw pack, you can go get that car. You can unlock it. I can't remember the requirements off the top of my head, but it's really pointless because the city's just not big enough and explorable enough to make any use out of the vehicle. It's just nice to have. But I probably won't be showing it off because it's very useless. Unless I really want, unless I do like the last thing on the bonus video, and then I literally have like 10 minutes spare, I might show it off. But that's if I remember. But anyway, you go through the same old gap in the wall that you did near the end of chapter 2, and you're just looking for 4 giant wheels. They're not too hard to find. 3 of them are literally right in front of you as you go. The last one you see me miss for a second, but I come back to it and find it anyway, because it's just behind something, so you'll miss it because it's behind another object. But the first one's right there, like I said, right in front of you. There are cactuars in here though, because it's considered a rare area now. They don't expect you to return to this area post going there unless you feel the real need to, so as a little reward they squeeze in rare enemies that have good drops in here, aka the cactuars. The cactuars are kind of infamous that if you give them the chance they can use 1,000 needles and it does a bit of damage, but the main reason why they're infamous is because they almost always drop really good loot and they're really rare. They are probably most effective at Final Fantasy VI, where there's a nice little desert patch where you can grind off them and get so many magic points to grind for your summons and get your spells up. It was ridiculous. If you wanted every spell in the game, that was like the ideal place to grind. Because even if you didn't get them, the other enemy that was there, like the sandworm things, also dropped a healthy amount of magic points, so it was just worth grinding in anything that spawned there. Anyway, we have gone past the last wheel, so this is just a dead end. I check it out, but we do go back. I did just have to pause the recording there, because my throat just got really sharp all of a sudden, and I needed to go clear my throat. Hopefully it'll clear up a little bit. I've had a swig of some water. I've coughed and spluttered a little bit, and tried to clear my throat as much as I can. It should, hopefully, be okay, but I am being wary. So I don't want to be coughing and spluttering on this. You guys don't want to hear it, so it's not gonna happen. I'll try my hardest not to do it. If I have to just clear my throat a little bit, like that, then so be it. But if it's actual coughing and spluttering, no, I'll turn off the mic and just resume recording afterwards.
Thanks, y'all.
Once you've got the vehicles, I just clicked, I think it was either tow car I clicked or return to entrance. I think I clicked tow car just so I could take it straight back to Hammerhead.
I'll get to work.
Because that's the thing, even if it costs a bit of gil to tow the car, it's a free shortcut straight back to Hammerhead because it's one load screen, it's not several. Because you go with the car back to Hammerhead.
I reckon that was his way of telling me I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Well, far be it from me to defy Sid's
The Regalia D-Type was added post-launch. When it was first added, you just talked to Cindy and she'd give it to you, but I think it was Royal Edition where they added that little side quest of having to get the blueprints to do it, and then you get the car. Which I don't mind, because getting free access to this thing is a bit god tier. You'll see what I mean when we start using it, it's a bit ridiculous.
What can I do?
Well, let's get her to refit it. There we go. And watch this chaos.
Well, here she is. What do you think?
Nice. It's amazing. Incredible. A work of automotive art.
The way that thing goes, she can probably go just about anywhere.
Only one way to find out. Let's see how far she can go.
Huh?
Prince, how are y'all liking your new ride?
Gotta say, it's pretty cool.
Well, ain't that grand? Nothing makes me happier than seeing a satisfied customer. Truth is, though, the old girl's got a lot more power under the hood than she's using right now. With a few adjustments, I could get her real souped up.
Sure. What kind of adjustments are we talking about?
Can't say just yet. Every car's got a different set of needs, so the only way to know for sure is to take them for a test drive or two. Right now, we've got the Regalia running at a steady purr, but we're gonna need to push her to the limit if we want to find out how to really make her roar.
A little more work and she'll be the cat's meow.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you say? I can get a test track ready in a jiffy. All you need to do is get behind the wheel and take the old girl for a spin.
Leave it to me.
So we have our new badass looking car and our new objective. The Kings of the Off-Road. There's one race course that's going to ask us to go to now, and then once we do it, we unlock 2 more race courses to do. Each race course you do unlocks an upgrade for the Regalia D-Type.
No roads, no rules.
But as Prompto just stated, the main reason why you use this vehicle is because then you can say screw the roads and go off-road. And you can really take this thing anywhere. Once you get the D-Type, it completely replaces the Chocobos unless you do Chocobo racing.
If past experiences are any indication, he's failed before he's even...
Because you'll need to use the Chocobos a bunch to level them up to get good at the racing if you decide to do that minigame. We haven't really shown it off, so I'll try and squeeze in a point to do it later on.
Thought I'd see the day.
And yet, here we are.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's take your first spin.
And we're here already. Also, you're going to get a first example. I go straight in, yeah. I got too close to an NPC that I could hit with the car, so it teleported me away.
Out.
There are set spots around the map where if you go too close to an NPC, or if you go into a parking space against the game's will, it will just teleport you out. It's mostly free range, but it's not completely.
All y'all need to do is ride like the wind. If you post a good time, I reckon Miss Cindy will be more than happy to give the old girl a tune-up. Hell,
See?
I'm ready whenever
The way
you
they
are.
argue it is every time you do the race, they report it back to Cindy, so then Cindy can know what's good and what's bad about the car, and then upgrade it. But here's the racetracks. To be fair, these are pretty fun. They're a little finicky because the car's control is a little finicky, but they are pretty fun.
Go!
You don't see me do it in the first one, but in the second and third you do. there's a little trick that they let you do in these races, where if you press the jump button as it says go, it'll give you a boost of speed. Which is a bit weird of a choice to make it the jump button there, but whatever. It's the same with when we do the bobsled mini games later on. For that, from episode Prompto. They have one, but that's more traditional. You just hit accelerator as it hits go and it gives you a burst of speed. The music for this is pretty cool though. Shall I tell you what it reminds me of, and what it's always reminded me of ever since they introduced it? The racing from The Simpsons Hit and Run. For anyone who remembers that game, you should know exactly what I mean. When he was trying to unlock the extra cars to do a whole, if he was just trying to go for 100%. The race courses, there was 3 of them on every level. Doing them, it was like this. He was going through like different gates around an area of the map with a bit of rock and roll playing. This feels so Simpsons Hit and Run, it's not even funny, and it's Final Fantasy 15. Also, to drift with this thing, don't try and actually drift. Just let go of the accelerator and turn. Don't press the brake, because this vehicle will just grind to a halt if you tap the brake. It's more of an emergency brake if you hit it. Which is a little annoying, because if you're used to, every other video game ever, you'll tap the brake to go to turn, but no, you just let go of the accelerator and go to do it. If you hear the odd weird noise, it's me just drinking from my water. I can only apologise, but I waited to get through this because it's just a throat. I feel fine. It's literally just my throat's being rough, so I know I can record. I'm healthy and well enough to do it. It's just my throat's a bit off. But now we get the support bumper, and despite what the name tells you, it is an upgrade for the car. Also, the vehicle gets reset over there for some reason, which allows us to go past this guy who has a busted up car, so we can got another repair kit we can throw at him. Deliver the repair kit. Clearly a very hard side quest. It's not like we can buy repair kits straight from the car that was right next to him or anything. And it's only 100 gil, so if you somehow don't have enough money for that, yeah, I don't blame you, because money in this game can be quite annoying to get. But still, just sell something. And we get 900 gil. If you do one, you get enough money to do everyone else.
Here we go. Seatbelts, everyone.
Also, unless we're trying to quick travel, you're going to see me only manual drive from this point onwards, because the D-Type's just a lot more fun to drive. If you went manual drive when you was driving the normal Regalia, it's kind of like, what's the point? You might as well just go auto. Whee! Ooh. But in the second and third race, you'll start to see the more finicky side of the vehicle, where sometimes just something will happen and the vehicle will just seem to freak out when it lands. It's never anything too aggressive, but it's something you should still be wary of if you're doing the races. Like, the Regalia D-Type isn't perfect, but then nothing in this game is. Well, I think that kind of adds to its charm a little bit, that it's such a flawed game.
We need to replenish our supply of curatives.
Gotcha.
So we return back to Cindy, and we'll put the support bumper on it, but we don't really need it. We won't. They get stacked with the other, because they're going to get more support bumpers. There's like stronger support bumpers, and they do stack, so it's not going to be that worthwhile on its own. But we're doing the other 2 races in a bit.
I can really take the Regalia to the next level. Just give me a holler when you're ready to unleash the beast.
See? So, but we got 2 more races we can go do now as well. This is to tell him about the other test courses. One's like to the left of the disc, and the other's near the Vesper pool. I highlight it on the map when we get to them, because I did record this a little while ago.
What are you fixing to upgrade?
So I better be able to point out, but there's a support
How's
bumper.
this? Y'all leave the hard work to me. Fixed her up real nice.
Thank you. Alright, let's go do the other races. Yeah, just left of the disc there. There's this little marketplace, and there's a guy standing around over here.
You boys ready and raring to race?
I guess.
Well, best of luck.
I'm out of water now, so I gotta make it last for the next 8 minutes. To be fair, I've never actually failed the time trial for these races. Like, they're pathetically easy. The fact that there's a trophy tied to them is kind of like, what, really?
You ready?
You'll see what I mean. Also, this is the one where I remember about the jump.
Go!
There it is. Any other time you jump from a standstill like that, it doesn't give you the same boost. But for that one there, it just gives you a stupid good boost for some ridiculous reason. So by the time limits on these are extremely generous, it won't take us anywhere near 4 minutes to beat this course, even when with all the screw-ups you're going to see happen. Starting now. It takes a bit of effort to get up this bloody hill. And then it gets wedged there. And there we go, we're up. When I was first playing this, I actually reset that because I didn't know how long the course was going to be and I assumed that I was going to fail. But on this run, when the exact same thing happened, I was like, no, I know I got enough time, what's it matter? And then I hit that as well and the car is a bit of a paddy. But from here it should be all good. Plus it's also a bit of free exploration for parts of the course we didn't get to show off. What would have been cool is if the course went up the arch, because in the regarding a D-type, you can go up the arches. It's a little finicky to do it, which is probably why they didn't add it to the race course, but you can do it, and it would have been fun to do so. But we really don't have much in this. I know I keep saying it, but we really don't have much in this Let's Play left. I wanted to get it finished before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, so I can just play that. Sorry, sorry for the odd pauses. I'm just trying to keep my throat in check as we go. I don't want to just be coughing and spluttering through the mic if I can help it. I mean, if I look at the list, so we got the Comrades Ifrit fight that we just can't do because of the Comrades update. So until further notice, that's gone. Showing off the D-type we're doing now. We've got Omega, the 3-episode super bosses, Score Attack Time Trial. I've got in vague side quests and hunts. Like there's a few side quests and hunts I want to show off, but I have no idea what ones I want to show off. So we got Vault dungeons. Oh well, I'm only going to do the first Vault dungeon because they're all the same. They're just more difficult than the last, and that one's actually recorded, so I'll be able to do that soon. And then I've just got episode Arden when that comes out in March, and episode to Sky, which I want to show off as the last thing in the game. But the last thing I show off before I wrap this up.
A new record! Miss Cindy will love this!
So in reality, Omega will be its own video. Korra and Neo Noctis, they might be in a video together, so that's 2.
You boys ready? And
Score
ready
Attack
to
and Time
race?
Trial, I'll put them together, 3.
Well,
And the Vault
best of
Dungeon
luck,
I've already
Cindy.
recorded, so that's 4. We could be done in about 4 videos, and then it's an episode Dusk Sky. That might take 2 or 3, I don't know yet, we'll see how that goes. And loose side quests and hunts. I'm probably going to leave that one, to be honest. Like, there is 1 or 2 I might show off, but we'll see. It really depends on what mood I'm in. Like, there's a couple hunts I'd like to do, but one of them, I have no idea what the hunting rank needs to be for it. Like, if the hunting rank's quite low, I'll just grind it out, get the hunting rank up, and then show it off. But if it's quite high, I'm not gonna bother. For people who was like hopeful that I do certain hunts, sorry to let you down, but the hunts in this game is one of the biggest disappointments in Final Fantasy 15, and so it's very hard for me to justify wanting to do it constantly just to show off the ones I like. The hunts in this are really underplayed, especially when you play Final Fantasy 12 and see how well they did them in 12. You go to 15 and you're like, what the fuck, why are they so basic and like generic and shit? The only good thing about them is that it's the only way to fight select unique enemies, some of which are ones that you only get to fight in some of the scripted parts in the plot between chapter 10 and 13. Because there are a lot of exclusive fights that you get one off in those chapters that then become hunts when you go to here. Ow. Also, going through the ruins part of the Vesper Pool for a race course, I don't think it was their wisest choice, because this is a bit like, this is a bit awkward. Look at how much of an obstacle course it is. Like, I can kind of get it, but it still just seems a bit too finicky for its own good. And we did pass some Marlboros along the way. We're just going to pass this thing, which name slips my mind. The ones that you see out in the lake all the time in the sky. And then we're done. And that's all 3 race courses, so now we can get the D-type to as strong as it's going to be. I say the race courses are all really short, really. I say really way too much, but you know what I mean. So we get this reward from this guy, this pale motherfucker here. Jeez. Oh, natural light is not your friend. I say natural, artificial light is not your friend. And that's it, we're done with the race courses. So let's go back to Cindy and pay her a visit. Now I'll go auto here just so that I can put... I should have really just called map point because Hammerhead's right at the top, is where you start, but whatever.
I've got just the thing.
So we get Cindy to upgrade our car for us.
What'll it be? What are you fixing to upgrade?
Thank you. And now if we ram this thing into an enemy, it will do a lot of damage.
How's this? I'll polish her up nice for you. Fixed her up real nice.
So now we're going to rest the night because those race courses, let's just say I had some fun travelling. And you're going to notice when we get to the caravan that I wasted quite a bit of time driving around like a loony.
It could crash right here.
We always end up... But that caravan has had the prince and the crew in there more often than any other rest point in the game. And yeah, you might have just saw how many days had passed there. Oops. But let's just tally up this experience, which I don't think is enough to level up anyone. Oh no, just barely those 2. See what nice pictures we got, if any.
I know. I dig it too.
And next time on Final Fantasy 15, we're going to be talking to Esma in a place we haven't been to before. And then from there, tackle the only vault dungeon I'm going to tackle in this Let's Play, because they're all very similar. But until then, you guys take care now, and I hope my throat's a bit better tomorrow. Ugh.
Selfies. # sorry not sorry.